Welcome to the MPG Podcast, where your host, John Graybiel, talks racing, driving, training, and cars with Newman Watts racing driver Jordan Missig. And now, here's John and Jordan.
Everything else is going the next load when I come back tomorrow.
Anyway, here we go. Well, welcome to the MPG Podcast. I'm John Graybiel, joined with mobile Jordan Missig.
That's right, yes. I am coming to you guys. I guess I'll start off where I'm going this time instead of you, John. Explain where you are first. I'm in my mobile RV on our way to our second testing session of this week. We got two more coming up that we'll be explaining on later in the show. But yes, we are just passing the Charlotte Concord area in North Carolina on our way to Virginia International Raceway in our mobile RV.
Very nice. So you left Illinois home track Audubon Country Club on Sunday?
We left on Friday.
On Friday, okay.
We left on Friday. Drove down to Kentucky for the first night, and then our second day we drove from Kentucky all the way up to Alabama.
Okay.
To Motorsports Park for our first of three testing sessions for the FR America series.
Okay, so you were testing down at the Barber Motorsports Park.
Yes.
With a couple other cars, is that right?
Yeah. A couple other teams were there. A total of 9 FR America cars were there in total.
Oh, wow.
4 cars from Global Racing Group, which is all these are different teams that are going to be racing with FR America. So 4 cars were from Global Racing Group, 2 cars were from Able Motorsports, and another 2 cars, I think, or at least one other car, was from Velocity Racing Development Group.
Okay. And you had one car there, is that right?
I had both my cars there. We're still testing out the other car just in case we get a teammate, so we're trying to cycle both cars. If we don't get a teammate, the other second car would be used as a backup car for me, but we're still on the hunt for a possible teammate for us, so we are still keeping that car in tip-top shape as best as we can.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. So the MPG racing team, Newman Watts is looking for a possible F3 race car driver, right?
Yes. So if anybody would be interested and want to be a possible teammate at Newman Watts Racing with me, they can either go to newmanwattsracing.com and email Brian Hallahan from there, or just email Brian Hallahan at bhallahan, that's, I believe, BHALAHAN at newmanwattsracing.com.
And so I'm 54 years old. Is there an age limit on drivers that you might need? Is 54 too old?
There's only an age minimum, so I think you would qualify if you wanted to, but there's only an age minimum. I know it's for people wanting to get into Formula racing. It was for the F4 Championship in America. I believe they have to be a minimum of 15 years old for F4, but to be an F3, they have to be a minimum age of 16 years old.
16 years old. So I hit that minimum age. Very good. Okay. I will fill out my application after the show here.
Well, perfect. We'll have you on.
So how did testing go? How many days were you there?
2 days. 2 days worth of testing. 4 hours of track time each day, so a total of 8 hours of track time throughout the whole 2 days of testing. It rained a little bit on the first day, but we got absolutely no rain the second day, so that was good for us. But yeah, a lot of on-track, off-track stuff adjustments that we had to do. We basically threw the kitchen sink at the car just to see what, how it reacted, how it felt, and the different track conditions that we had to verse.
Okay. And did you run it in the rain at all with rain tires, or do you guys wait till it dries out?
So the first time it rained, it was raining during one of the F4 sessions, so it wasn't raining during our session. But when we had the opportunity to go out, it was starting to dry up a little bit, so we were kind of in the window between it's starting to get too wet for rains or too dry for rains, but it's still too wet for dries. So, when you get in that window, it's a very hard decision to make which tire compound you want to go on. So we took the advantage of just before it all dried out to go a little bit in rain weather just to see how the car reacted to the rain, because this was going to be our first time driving in the rain in this car. So we didn't put on the full rain setup. We just went on the basic dry setup, just threw on rain tires just to see how the car reacted to the track conditions. And it reacted in a very positive way, we would say. Didn't feel like the car was wanting to break loose too easily. Now, that again, that could have been us just trying to avoid all the major puddles to get the car to break loose, which we don't want to obviously have. So, we did what we needed to do for the minimum to see how the car felt in the rain. So we got away with a very positive notes and a very positive feel.
Okay, great, awesome. And motor's holding up good and everything. Is that?
Yeah.
I mean,
we haven't been experiencing any problems with the gears or any of the motor issues. So the motor's been handling very well. I know the first time when we took the car out at Audubon, we were experiencing some gear issues of the car not wanting to downshift at first and then having a hard time getting into neutral and maybe even reverse here. But after those testing days at Audubon before we went to Barber, we got all figured out and situated, and we went to Barber with a nice, fresh new car basically, and was able to get on the track running very quickly.
Okay, great. And so how often are you guys like changing the oil, for example? Is that something you do every day in that car, or?
No, it's not every day we do it. We will probably, after these next 3 testing areas we go to, we'll probably change the oil just to kind of get a new fresh batch of oil into the car before we go off for our next run. Because after these 3 tested days, we're looking at possibly the end of June to be possibly the first race. So the car is almost going to be sitting for a full month before we, go out to any of these races. So we're probably going to the guys will probably change the oil after this the next couple of testing days. But from a day-to-day basis, when we're testing like this, theoretically, no, we don't really change the oil often.
Yeah, so it's a Honda motor that they put in street cars. So, knock on wood, it's a pretty bulletproof motor. Yeah, it's a real good motor. I really like that motor. So it's pretty cool that they're using it more and more for different kind of cars, and particularly a Formula car here.
Oh, yeah, no, it's really cool. For those of you who don't know, the Honda motor that they use, it's actually for kind of like a Honda Civic that you would see on the road. So, the motors are very durable, very long-lasting and reliable motors. So far, so good. We haven't had any experience with them, and we're very happy with the way the motor's produced for us.
Yeah, very good, very good. Okay, so what kind of a day do you start? How early did you start when you were at those testing sessions? Do you guys get assigned a slot for the day, or do you have the whole track all day long?
So Jay Howard, who was the team who rented the track for us, had 2 groups with us, which were Formula 4s and Formula Regionals that had 3 cars were with us. So what we did was alternate each session. So hour on, hour off. So Formula 4 went out first. They went up from 8 to 9. Then it was 9 to 10 for us. So we started around 9 o'clock. The guys got to the track around 7. But yeah, it was hour on, hour off. So Formula 4 was at 8. We were at 9. Formula 4 was at 10. We were at 11. Had lunch in the middle. And then it was like that for the rest of the day until 5 o'clock at night.
Oh, okay. So it's a pretty long day.
No, everybody got at least 4 hours of track time. Each group had 4 hours. So like I said before, we had about 8 hours for the whole entire 2 days we were there.
Yeah, so we chatted just a little bit off camera, I think, about the tire use. But how are those tires good for a day? Are they good for a session? How long are your tires lasting?
We went through about maybe 3 to 4 sets of tires this weekend.
Yeah, so the tires aren't. I mean, I know that there's some limitations when you guys race, how many tires you can use for the whole race weekend. But you're putting a lot of laps in, right? We were just talking a little bit about the use of the tires. So you had a lot of track time, and so you went through quite a bit of a tire wear this weekend, right?
Oh, yeah. No, we went through about 3 to 4 sets of tires, I would say, including the starting set that we have when we came from Audubon themselves, which they had about 20 miles worth on the tires before we got there at Barber. So, I mean, we went pushing these tires to almost about 200 miles each run, almost close to about, we would go to 183 to 200 miles each run, I would say. But yeah, throwing each new set of tires here and there. And that's another thing too. You brought up a good point when we talk about tires. When you go to all these testing sessions, there's a lot of mind games being played between each of the teams and everything about tires. Some people will want to just get a fast lap in, so they'll throw on a new set of sticker tires or anything, or they'll start the day off with stickers just to kind of, fool the minds of each other team and everything. So that's when, the real competitiveness, even in testing, comes into play with tires run. So, it's almost about like keeping to yourself, not worrying about what everybody else is doing. That's been our mindset a little bit. But we're going through sets of tires throughout the whole 2-day test.
Yeah, so sticker tires are tires that have stickers on them, brand new. So we often refer to tires with stickers on them that come when you buy them as sticker tires. So not stickier tires or sticky tires, but tires that actually have a sticker on them.
Yes. Now, people will get creative and want to put like a sticker on them and say, oh, we got new sticker tires when they've been used and everything. No, the sticker tires is new, fresh rubber, and they have like whatever tire manufacturer you're using. For instance, we're using Hankook tires. So they have the Hankook tire sticker on the labels on the tires for before they go. And then that's kind of as a driver reference when we're driving us to tell that the tires are ready to go and ready to be pushed is when you get the sticker off of the tires completely. That's when you can tell the tires are rubbered in and ready to go for maximum performance.
Yeah, so how long is the straightaway down there? Are you getting faster speeds? And I know at the Autobahn you're getting upwards of 130 miles an hour probably down the straightaway. Are you getting higher speeds on a longer straightaway down there?
A little bit slower. I think we're up to about 129 going into their main straightaway. I mean, the way their longer goes is, if you ever been to Barbary, it's out of the museum corner, and then you go up to a left-right chicane, which in these high downforce cars like a Formula 3, we could take flat out, not having to lift. But then we go into turn 10 there in Barbary, and we're hitting about 129 miles an hour going into a left-hand kink, and then the car kind of compresses and goes up into a long sleeping right-hander uphill into a blind crest, which can loosen the car up a lot. So it's kind of a hold your breath moment, kind of have to get up on the wheel a little bit and use all your driving skill to the max.
Interesting. And what kind of, so you're headed right now to VIR, which is Virginia International Raceway.
Yep.
That's in the southwest portion of Virginia.
Very south, just over the border. You're just getting over the border.
And when will you guys arrive? Will you guys be there just shortly then, or?
Well, we're supposed to load in. It's currently right now we're in Eastern time, so it's 3:53 Eastern time. We're supposed to be loading in around 5:30 Eastern time, so about an hour and a half, I would say, is when we're going to be arriving at VIR. Maybe even sooner for us.
Okay. And the motorhome there that stays at the track all night?
Yeah. No, we're going to be staying at the track along with the hauler that will be there. We'll be staying right next to it. The way it is VIR, it's way out in the open, so there's not really there's not really a town close by. The closest town I think is like 20 to 30 minutes away from the track itself. So there's a restaurant and a hotel that's on the track. Well, the cool thing about VIR is they have 3 different places you can stay. They have the villas up in the S's. They have the garage place, garage hotel, which is right above the garages, and then they have the lodge, which is over in the turns 5, 6, and 7 complex of the course. So they have 3 places that VIR offers to stay because it is in the middle of nowhere almost. But for us, we're going to bring our motorhome and kind of cook out there and just kind of stay the weekend at the track.
Okay, great. So it is Tuesday now. How many days are you testing there?
2 days as well. Going to be there, obviously get there tonight. We'll be testing Wednesday and Thursday, and then coming home Thursday, trying to make the trip on Thursday night.
Okay. All right. So you'll drive 2 days to get back to Illinois?
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be 2 days. I think it's like, a 12-hour drive back maybe. I think something like that.
Okay. All right. So is there any and the rest of the teams are going to VIR too, just like you? They're all kind of...
Yep, they're a little bit ahead of us. We actually stopped at the same place last night. They were just in a hotel across the street from where we were parked, so they're actually ahead of us about an hour and a half, so they should be getting to the track right about now, I should say, or a little bit before. So.
Okay, cool. And same type of situation there. You're going to be testing, just shaking the car out, making some more adjustments. Is there any specific thing you're trying to gain? Is it speed or grip or?
Well, right now for me, it's confidence level with this car. Obviously, this car is a lot different compared to a USF 2000 or the Indy Pro 2000 that the Road to Indy series does, or even a Radical. Like I said before, this car is very similar to a sports car kind of look, but it's very similar to, if anybody's driven, it's a Road Atlantic car. That's a pretty big, heavy car. It's bigger than the F3 cars that we have now, but it has it's a tunnel system that's over the car to where the air kind of moves between the tunnels that's underneath this car. So it's very similar because you need to be on throttle to kind of get the car to turn a little bit more. Whereas if you lift off the throttle and just come completely out of it, it's actually going to disrupt the car. Whereas other cars, it wouldn't disrupt as much.
Oh, interesting. So it's not only a steering setting the car up, but you got to use your
too.
Yeah, that too. So are you braking? Is it like a go-kart, for example? Are you braking? Are you power on your right or accelerate on your right and brake with your left foot?
Yeah, no, exactly like that. It does have a little bit of a go-karty feeling too, under braking especially. You know how in a go-kart you get on the brakes a little bit and the rear end likes to slide a little bit and you're almost doing like a little drifting oversteer kind of effect under braking. This car will kind of do somewhat similar, the same aspects to that too.
Okay. All right. Well, any parting words for us while you get back to enjoying the nice trip there?
Yeah, we're hoping since we're going to VIR this weekend, our next testing place will be taking place out at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Complex, which will be taking place next week. And hopefully, if the series is right, they made an announcement today that they're going to be adding 2 new races to the existing calendar in replace for 2 races that were postponed or canceled this year. So hopefully, we've heard that possibly Mid-Ohio might be the first race of the year. So hopefully, we're going to be learning a lot when we go to Mid-Ohio in the next week.
Oh, okay. So home for the weekend, I guess, and then headed back out the following week.
Correct. Yes.
All right. Well, great. All right, Jordan. Thanks for being on the show again. We look forward to getting an update after VIR and probably before you get to Mid-Ohio, and then we'll see what's going on in Ohio.
Perfect, John. Thank you so much for
thanks.
having me on the show again and having this